What's happening on a reef is really dynamic.
It's a biodiversity hotspot.
The number of species that are on coral reefs rival anywhere on Earth. There's more species than a rainforest.
Coral are very, very complex animals. They cover a very small portion of the planet, but they hold a disproportionate amount of biodiversity of the oceans.
It's a fascinating thing because it's considered an ecosystem engineer. Similar to trees, provide habitat for other animals, coral reefs do the same thing.
It's truly extraordinary for the wildlife that it supports there.
Corals were not really that well studied until the 1970s. We probably only have, in some of the best case scenarios, 10, 15 years following organisms that have literally existed for hundreds of thousands of years.
Off our coast, the United States, we have these canyons that would dwarf the Grand Canyon. And I would say less than 1% of them have been explored.
That's also one of the reasons why it's such an important decade for us to do ocean research, so that we can help figure out how we best prepare for all of the damage that we expect to come into the oceans.
Deep sea corals, they're not like shallow water reef corals you might think about. If you dive on a shallow water reef, you see these massive corals that are displayed laterally and like they're reaching out to the sun. Deep sea corals don't rely on sunlight at all.
In Norway, we have the highest density of deep sea coral reefs in the world.
And some have indicated that these may be stepping stones for the dispersion of other species.
When you dive down onto a reef and it's covered in coral and there's so many fish in front of you that you feel like you got dropped down into an aquarium, that is the most inspirational moment you can ask for being a marine scientist.
The ocean is the life support system for our planet, and we need to be protecting these vitally rich and diverse areas so that we can continue to study them and we can continue to make sure that the ocean thrives and therefore allows us to thrive.
The more research we can do and the more steps forward we can make, the closer we are to making sure that this ecosystem survives long term.